Now, this is my production environment and this is my sandbox. So we have different environments to meet your business requirements. Whenever we say environment, whenever I say environment is nothing but instance of force.com. Environment is nothing but instance of force.com. So what's an environment? It is a instance of force.com. Instance of force.com. Environment is nothing but instance of force.com. Right. Can you open that window? Right. Okay. Now, environment is nothing but instance of force.com. There are three types of environments in the Salesforce. There are three types of environment in the Salesforce. There are three types of environments in the Salesforce. What are the three types? First one we have production. Second one, developers environment. Third one, testing environment. We have three types of environments: production, development, testing environment. Now, what is this production? Let us see. ICICI Bank gave a contract to the IBM to develop an application. IBM people developed an application. IBM people developed a banking application. Banking application is developed by IBM and they gave this application to ICICI Bank. Now, IBM people wrote programs P1, P2, P3. They wrote some logics. They created some tables. Right. Then, once the application is developed, they gave this application to ICICI Bank. Now, ICICI Bank has deployed this application, started using this application. Now, what is the difference between the copy, what is available with IBM, and the copy which is available with ICICI Bank? IBM developed an application, gave it to the ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank is using. Now, what is the difference between the copy, what is available with ICICI Bank and IBM? IBM has what? Only code and the structure of the application. What ICICI Bank has? It has the data. Whatever the data that customer is entering, that is available with the ICICI Bank. So, what is that ICICI copy is called? Production. What is the production? It is an instance of the force.com where customers' live data is stored. It is an instance of the force.com where live data required to run the business logic is stored. It is an instance of force.com where we are going to store the data required to run the logic of the application. So what is that called? Okay, what is it called? Instance of force.com which contains live data required to run the application. Which contains the live data required to run the application. So what was this? We are going with production environment. What is the production? It is a instance of force.com. It is an instance of force.com where data required to run the business logic it is a instance of a force.com where data required to run the business logic is stored or where live data is stored. The next, what is this development environment? Now, I asked IBM to make some changes on my code. If the IBM people want to make some changes on my application, or if they want to add any new functionality to my application, what they will do? They will do it on IBM's environment. Now, it's a live environment. Whatever that is available with the ICICI Bank, it's a live environment. Now, whatever the copy that is available with the IBM is called developers environment. If I need to add any new changes, if I need to modify any functionality, if I want to add any new functionality, where I will do? I will do it on developers environment. What is the purpose of this developers environment? Without disturbing the production, if you want to enhance the functionalities or debug the functionalities or customize the functionalities, we need an environment which is called developers environment. So what is a developers environment? It is a instance of force.com. It is an instance of force.com where we can enhance the application without disturbing the live production. We can enhance the application without disturbing the live production. It's a instance of a force.com where we can enhance the application without disturbing the live production. Are you clear about this format? Now what I'm doing? Look at this development environment. It is an instance of force.com. Instance of force.com. It is used to develop. It is used to develop or enhance new functionality without disturbing affecting the production environment. It's an instance of force.com. It's an instance of force.com. It's an instance of force.com which is used to develop or enhance new functionalities without affecting the production environment. Without affecting the production environment. Then we have testing environment. Testing environment. What is this testing environment? It is used to test the functionalities of your application. It is used to test the functionality of your application. It is an instance of force.com. It is an instance of force.com. It is used to test the application without affecting production environment. Without affecting the production environment. It is an instance of force.com. It is used to test application without affecting production environment. So what are the three types of environments we have? Production environment, development environment, testing environment. Right. So let us go to the next one. When you are going for a development or testing, we have instance called sandbox. We will try to understand what is sandbox. What is the sandbox and how it will be used. Let us understand what is a sandbox and how it can be used. Listen to the context carefully. I have a production here. I have a production. In the production, I have some tables. In the production, I have some tables. So in the tables, let us say employee name, phone number, invoice number. I have some data. Production will have live data, right? So there are some records in the table. Invoice number. Now there are some instances. Program 1, program 2, program 3. I wrote some logics. Logic 1, logic 2, logic 3. There are some rules. It may be an options. So I developed an application and this is the production which is running. So in the production what we have? We have employee table, invoice table, program 1, program 2, program 3, logic 1, logic 2, logic 3, logic 4. So this is my production. It is the copy of my production. So what I have? Same copy I am creating. What did I do? I created a copy of production. But when I created a copy of production, without any data in the production. So what happened? I have taken a copy. When I took the copy, what is taken was exact copy of production we have got. Whatever that we have in the production, exact copy we got. But what happened? Exact copy we got. But what happened? There is no data. Except the records, rest all the things, whatever we have in the production, same thing is copied. We have tables, here also table, name, phone number, invoice number amount, program 1, 2, 3, L1, L2, L3, R1, R2, R3. So exact structure of production without live data. What is it called? Metadata. What we call it as? Metadata. Metadata means complete structure of your application without live data. What is that metadata? It is a complete structure of your application without live data. It is called metadata. Now, the other one, if you look at this, what was this? It is a copy of productions. It is a copy of productions metadata plus sample data. Does it have complete data? Some sample data. So, what was this? This is nothing but a sandbox. What is a sandbox? Sandbox is a copy of productions metadata or productions metadata and data. What is a sandbox? Sandbox is a independent copy of production. It has its own copy. It is an independent copy of production. It is an independent copy of production with exact metadata of production. Some of the sandboxes will have metadata plus data. Sandbox is an instance of course.com. It is an exact copy of productions metadata or metadata and data. Metadata or metadata and data. What is the purpose of these sandboxes? These sandboxes are used for development, testing, training. A new employee joined the company. We want to show him how to use this application. Where will you train? On the sandbox. Tester want to test the application. Where will you test? On the sandbox. Developer want to add a new functionality. Where he is going to add the functionality? On the sandbox. So sandbox is used for what? Sandbox is used for what? Development, testing, training. Sandbox is used for what? Development, testing and training. Sandbox is used for what? Development, testing and training. Sandbox is used for development, testing and training. Are you clear? Okay, once again, what is a sandbox? It is an instance of force.com. It is an instance of force.com. It is an exact copy of productions metadata and sample data. Metadata and sample data. Am I clear with this? Okay. Now, look at the point. Now, in the sandbox, which sandbox is given for whom? Developers don't need any sample data. If I am developing my own functionality, I will take my own sample data. If I am taking my own data, if I want to develop my own functionality, I will take my own sample data. If you are a tester, you need a sample data from production. You need a sample data from production. If you are a tester, you need a sample data from production. If you are a tester, you need a sample data from production. So, testers need metadata with sample data. Developers need only metadata. So, any sandbox with metadata is generally used for development activities. Any sandbox with metadata and data is used for testing purposes. Are you clear? I hope I am clear with this. Now, let me give a definition of what is sandbox. Sandbox. It is a identical copy of productions metadata or metadata and data. It is a identical copy of productions metadata or metadata and data. It is independent from production. It is independent from production. Next, it is used for development, testing, it is used for development, testing and training. What is metadata? Complete structure of the application. Complete structure of the application except live data. Except live data. It's called metadata. So what metadata includes? Metadata includes tables, programs, settings, options, table, program, settings, options, everything is included. Metadata, complete structure of the application except live data is called metadata. It's called metadata. Right. Now look at this. Sandboxes are classified into next one. Types of sandboxes. Types of sandbox. Sandboxes are classified into 4 types. What are the type of sandboxes we have? Developer sandbox, developer pro sandbox, partial copy sandbox, developer sandbox, developer pro sandbox, partial copy sandbox, full sandbox. There are 4 types of sandboxes. How many types of sandboxes we have? 4 types. Developer sandbox, developer pro sandbox, partial copy sandbox, full sandbox. There are 4 types of sandboxes. Developer sandbox, developer pro, partial copy, full copy. Right. Now we'll try to understand purpose of each sandbox. Basically, sandboxes are used for development, testing, and training. Now each sandbox is used for what purpose? Each sandbox is used for what purpose? Let us see here. We are starting with the first point. Now generally, if a developer want to develop a application in the company, what the people will give? They'll give you one system, right? If a developer want to develop, write any code in a company, what they do? They provide a system. On the system, what will be there? What are the software you require? All the softwares and tools are installed. You are going to write your program, like your personal PC. Now, similarly, in the company, if you have 3 developers working for a Salesforce, for every developer, they have designed one developer sandbox. Every developer will have one developer sandbox. Developer sandboxes are designed for individual user development. Developer sandbox are for what? Individual developers development activities. Individual user, right? If there are 3 developers, how many sandboxes are issued? 3 sandboxes. On every sandbox, how many developers will work? 1 developer. So whatever the code you write, that is saved to your developer sandbox. Now, developer sandbox is designed for individual developer development activities. Now, generally, you will have a PC on which you write a code and your code is saved on your PC. Similarly, there is a cloud for every developer, they issue one developer sandbox. Whatever the code you write, everything is saved on the developer sandbox. Right. Now, what is the size of this sandbox? Size. Now they are giving data size. They can 200 MB. What is the data size? 200 MB. Then what is the file size? If you want to store any images or documents, separate memory is given. What is the file size? 200 MB. Data size is 200 MB. File size is 200 MB. Then what type of, is it a metadata or data? From production, what are you going to get? From production, only metadata is taken. So, developer sandbox is a identical copy of production's metadata, which is used for individual developers development activities. Size of the sandbox is 200 MB. File size is 200 MB. Can we increase or decrease? It is fixed. It is fixed. 200 MB is very high size for a developer. Right. Now, refresh. What is this refresh? Let us see. Look at the point. Now, I am a developer. In the month of January, I wrote 3 programs. I am a developer. In the month of January, they give me one sandbox. Let us see. I logged into my production. I recruited a new developer. So what I am doing? I recruited a new developer. I went to my production. Sandbox. New sandbox. Now, sandbox 299. Next. Create. Now, when I created a sandbox, from where? From production, administrator will create a sandbox. When I create a sandbox from the production, right now at this moment, whatever that is there in the production, everything exact same copy will be created. Now that sandbox I will give to developer. Developer will log in, start making the changes on the account. Are you getting my point? When I create a sandbox, right now at this moment, whatever the metadata that is there in the production, exact copy of sandbox is created. With the same metadata, one more copy is created, which is called sandbox. That copy, username, password I will give to developer. He will log in, make the new changes or development. Okay, right, boss? Now, this developer took a copy. Let us see. In the month of August, in the month of July 5th, I gave this sandbox. This guy took the sandbox on which date? July 7th. So what type of copy he has? Whatever that is available on July 5th, the copy of it he has taken. Today, I gave the developer a work. Boss, make the following changes. make the following changes. When you took the copy on the July 7th, later on so many changes have happened in the production. Do you have all those changes with you? Do you have all the changes with you? No. So if you want to make any changes now, what should I do? I want a fresh copy of production. Today at this moment, what is the fresh copy is there? I will take that copy, then I make a changes. Because you have a old copy of production. What do you have? You have a old copy of production. Are you getting my point? When I create a sandbox, at that moment, at that instance, whatever that is there in the production, whatever that is there in the production, same copy was created. But later on, so many changes have happened in the production. When so many changes have happened in the production, if I want to work with that, I need a fresh copy. If you want a fresh copy, what we do? Refresh. What we do? Refresh. Now what I'm doing? I'm clicking on refresh. When I click on refresh, whatever the old copy has, what all the old copy has, that old copy is removed and new copy is given to you. So what did I do? Refresh. Now what all the old copy of sandbox you have, the old copy is removed, a new copy is created for you. What is the meaning of refresh? Taking the fresh copy of production into your sandbox. Boss, today batch started. Right. Now today batch started. Some student has written a notes. You did the xerox of the notes. Today you went and took the xerox of the notes. After 10 days again you came. Now you are absent for 5 days. Again if you take the same xerox copy or you take a fresh xerox copy. Why? The changes made after, okay, whatever the changes happened in the last 4 days, that if you want to get those changes, you need a fresh copy. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong? So what we are doing? We want to refresh. When you say refresh, remove the old copy, give the new copy of production. Now they are asking, how many times you can refresh? How many times you can refresh? One time in a day. You are a developer or you are a administrator? You are a developer. You have to write a code and deploy. Every time you don't ask the fresh copy of production. If you take a fresh copy today, every day I will not go and ask, give me fresh copy. I am a developer. I was supposed to make the changes and deploy to the production. Every day I will not ask a fresh copy. So, one time in a day. Maximum how many times you can refresh? One time in a day. How many times? One time. What type of activities? Development and testing by individual developer. Development and testing by individual developer. Testing means manual testing or unit testing, manual testing, this type of testing, not advanced testing. Right? So, what is the purpose of developer sandbox? Let us understand what is a developer sandbox. First, let us start with the developer sandbox. Developer sandbox. It is a instance of Force.com. It is exact copy of productions metadata. It is identical copy of productions metadata. It is identical copy of productions metadata. It is used for individual developers, development and testing activities. It is instance of Force.com. It is identical copy of productions metadata. Productions metadata. No data, no live data will be shared. No live data will be shared from production. Now, data size. What is the data size? 200 MB. File size 200 MB. Then refresh rate Refresh rate 1 time in a day. 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 What is that? Productions. From production, what we are going to get? Metadata only. It is used for individual developers development activities. Data size is 200 MB. File size is 200 MB. Refresh rate is 1 time in a day. From production, metadata only. Copy of productions metadata only. What is refresh? Taking the fresh copy of production. Taking the fresh copy of production into sandbox is called refresh. File means if you are uploading any images, documents, audios, videos, this is a file. Data means record. When I speak about data, it's records. When I speak about files, documents, images. Any query on this? So this sandbox is used for generally for development activity by individual developer.
So in sandbox we write different programs. So if we refresh what about our program will be there.
When you refresh it, you have to ensure that it's saved. Now who is refreshing? You're only refreshing, right? You are requesting somebody to refresh. So what all unsaved data is there, you have to save them to production first. Otherwise, obviously you lose it. You lose it. Now you're typing something, I'm typing something on the notepad. Now without saving it, if I close it, what happened? What happened? Obviously it will be lost. The same thing will happen here. Come again? No. What are the changes you made? They should be saved to production. What are unsaved changes are there in the now in the sandbox? I wrote a program 1. This program I not deployed to production. Then I refreshed. Then automatically what happened? The old copy is lost. When old copy is done, your program is also lost. When I deploy to production, what happened? The same code is there in the production. When you refresh, the same code will come back to you. What is my point? Coming in? Yeah, obviously. If there are 100 developers, I need to go for 100 sandboxes. Right. You are going, we are at the title of the movie. You are looking for a climax. Still, there's some more time. Now, yeah.
Two developers are developing class or you are paid for days of work.
Same question, same answer. Right. Now, yes, you asked in the polished way. That's only difference. Now, let me give. Now we are going with this. Next sandbox is Developer Pro Sandbox. When is a Developer Pro Sandbox? Developer Pro. Now what happened? 3 people are working on this. They want to join. Whatever the changes they made, they want to join and build a functionality. Now I have a small module. In the small module, 2 people are working on this. Task 1 is done by developer 1. Task 2 is done by developer 2. They want to join this, make a functionality. Now, to do this, we have a sandbox called Developer Pro Sandbox. What is sandbox called? Developer Pro. Right, boss? Developer Pro. If number of developers are working, you want to join your code to one instance and make a functionality. Now he has written page 1, he has written page 2, he has written page 3. I need to join all the 3 pages, build a functionality. Then I will be taking your copy into Developer Pro and I will be joining them. Why developer? I can do it on the developer sandbox also. Why Developer Pro? Suppose if your code is lengthy, you require more than 200 MB. You require what? More than 200 MB. Then I am going for Developer Pro. Otherwise, Developer Sandbox is sufficient. Are you getting my point? If you are trying to work with a larger set of code which require more than 200 MB, then I will be going for Developer Pro. So what is the Developer Pro Sandbox? It is used to integrate different codes. It is used to integrate different codes, right? It is also called as what? Developer Sandbox. Developer Pro is also Developer Sandbox only. Same to same. Whatever the Developer Sandbox do, Developer Pro also will do the same, but few changes. What are the changes? From production, what we are getting? Metadata. What we are getting? Metadata. From production, it's a copy of production's metadata. Data size, because you are going to integrate, we need more size. What is the more size? 1 GB. Data size is 1 GB. File size 1 GB. Refresh rate 1 time a day. Actions, what type of actions? Development and testing. Why? Multiple developers. Multiple developers can log in. The developer sandbox is individual developer sandbox. Developer Pro is multiple developers. Multiple people can log in and work on it. Then it is called integration. We can also do integration testing. What type of activities we can perform? Integration testing. Apart from development and testing, we can go with the integration testing. This is one activity. So Developer Pro Sandbox is also Developer Sandbox only. What is the extra features? Extra space, extra functionality. Are you clear? Right, boss? Clear? Your question and your question. Yes.
Any sort of dynamic logo is
Come again.
dynamic change the
Sizes are fixed. They cannot be altered. The size is fixed. They cannot be modified.
not in the developer pro, what is about the DM1?
I think you understood my statement. I told sizes are fixed and they cannot be modified, right?
It's the whole sandbox.
I think hold on, boss. Why you want to have so many questions at the same time? Let's finish it, right? Now, before I started Developer Pro, you asked Developer Pro. Before I started a partial copy, you asking partial copy, right? Hold on your excitement for some more time. Yeah, yes.
One developer pro sandbox equals to 5 developer sandbox.
It's no wrong. It's wrong. Now, when you take one Developer Pro, when you purchase one Developer Pro Sandbox, they give 5 Developer Pro Sandbox extra. When you purchase one Developer Pro Sandbox, they give you 5 Developer Sandbox extra. It's not that one Developer Pro equal to 5 sandboxes. It's add-on. Extra sandbox is what Salesforce is providing to you. Okay. Right. Let's go back. Right. So let us not make general discussion, boss. It's going to waste the time. Okay. Now, let us make it. So we are going with the next one. What is this? A Developer Pro Sandbox. What is the Developer Pro Sandbox? Developer Pro Sandbox. When you say Developer Pro Sandbox, it is a instance of course.com. It is a identical copy of productions metadata. It's an identical copy of productions metadata. Third one. It is similar to Developer Sandbox. Similar to Developer Sandbox, except with some extra space and with some extra space and functionality. Now, what is the data size? File size. Refresh rate. One time ready. Then we have actions, development, testing, development, testing, and integration testing. Development, testing and integration testing. Development, testing and integration testing. Actions. Development, testing, integration testing by multiple users. By multiple users. Development, testing, integration testing by multiple users. It's a developer pro. Basically, it's what? Integrating multiple codes into a single instance. Right. Now, I hope I'm clear with this. Right. Right. Now your question, boss. Your question now. The next sandbox, what is the next sandbox we have? Partial copy. Now, we are going for the next topic, partial copy. Partial copy sandbox. What is this partial copy sandbox? When I say partial copy sandbox, look at the point. It is a copy of production's metadata and data. It is a copy of production's metadata and data. As you are taking a sample data also, you need more space than 1 GB. Previously, Developer Pro is not taking any sample data. It is not taking any sample data from production. But when you go to partial copy, it is taking a sample data from production. As it is taking a sample data from the production, it requires more space than the Developer Pro. So what was this? Productions metadata plus sample. Sample data of how much? 10,000 records per table. Sample data of 10,000 records per table. Maximum they can give you 10,000 records per table. Now, when I say this, data size. What is this? File size. Refresh rate. One time a day. What type of actions we can perform? All type of testing, including all type of testing, excluding load testing and performance testing. What type of actions we can perform? All type of testing activities except load testing and performance testing. How many people can log in at a time? Multiple number of people can log in. How many people can log in at a time? Multiple people can log in at a time. So Developer Pro is for development, Developer is for development, Developer is for development, Developer Pro is for development. Partial copy is generally used for what? Testing purpose. You can also write a code, but 99% is generally used for what? Testing purpose. Okay. Now what was this partial copy? It's designed for testing activities. What was this? It's an instance of force dot. It is a instance of a force.com. It is a design for testing activities. It is a identical copy of metadata. How much sample data? Maximum of 10,000 records per day. Sample data of 10,000 records per sample data of 10,000 records per day. Sample data of 10,000 records per partial copy samples. What is the file size? Data size. 5 MB. Can I increase the size? I cannot increase the size or decrease the size. They are fixed. And all the programs, whatever you write, if you all club together, all it comes around 5 MB or 10 MB, not more than that. You join all your programs, all it is going to come around 5 MB, okay. So going to come around 5 MB or 10 MB, not more than that. Okay. It's not a records. You are a developer, you are writing a code, which is a text file. It's a text file, compressed text file. So it is all the programs together, it will not be more than 5 MB or 10 MB. 5 MB to 10 MB somewhere it falls. So if you take a records, then the size will increase. But we are developers. I will not take lakhs of records. I take only few, 10 or 20 records to test my functionality. Are you getting my point? I am a developer. I take only few records to test whether my functionality is working or not. Right? I am not going to create lakhs of records. Right? So what is the file size? Refresh rate. One time in 5 days. One time in every 5 days. It is also called action. What type of action? All types of testing except load testing and performance testing. It is also called UAT environment. UAT environment. What is that UAT? User acceptance. It is also called UAT environment. User acceptance testing environment. Full sandbox. Right. I hope you are clear with this. Right? So basically, partial is used for what? Testing activities. Partial is used for what? Testing activities. Am I clear with this format? Okay. Let's go to the next one. What is the next one that we have? Full sandbox. What is that full sandbox? Exact copy of production. Whatever that is there in the production, same to same along with all the data. Exact copy of production with complete data. Exact copy of production with complete data. It's called the exact copy of production with all the metadata and data. Along with the metadata and data. Along with the metadata and data. Full sandbox. It is identical copy of production along with metadata and data. Along with metadata and data. It is generally used for what? Testing purpose. What type of testing? Load testing and performance testing. Generally used for what? Load testing and performance testing. So what is a full sandbox? It is a design for what? Testing purpose. Full sandbox. It is an instance of force.com. It is a design for testing activities. Then it is a design for testing activities. It is a identical copy of productions, metadata and data. Productions to metadata and data. Then file size, data size. What is the size of the data? Because it's the exact copy of production, whatever the size of the production is there, the same size will be there. File size, file size, data size. Then we got the next one. What is that? Refresh rate. In 29 days. Because it has a huge amount of data, that's the reason one time every 29 days. Actually, all type of testings, including load testing and it is also called staging environment. Staging means what? One step before deployment. One step before deployment. One step before the deployment we call it as staging environment. So basically, for development, what are the sandboxes we are going to use? Developer sandbox and developer pro sandbox. For testing, partial copy and full sandbox. For testing, partial copy and full sandbox. See, when you build your functionality, you are building your own application. Now it's not that always use the CRM. I want to build my own application from scratch. When you want to build your own application from the scratch, obviously I need to go for load testing and performance testing. I am building a new functionality. Whatever the Salesforce has done, developed, it has tested, fine. But you are customizing it according to your requirement. You are writing new programs, new functionality, new development you are doing. It may affect the performance of the application. So I need to sometimes, not every. If you make a small changes, I will not go for performance and load testing. If I am building a big functionality, any release is there, obviously I am going to cross check my performance. Are you getting my point? If you make a small changes like create one page, create one button, modify the button, this type of activities I don't go for a performance. When you make a new implementation, like let us say I am building my own product. When I am building my own product on Force.com, obviously I will test my performance. Are you getting my point? I want to build my own product. I want to give this product for the other customers on the rental basis. Then obviously I will test the load and performance. So it's not that every time I follow this cycle. Depends upon the impact, depends upon the level of customization we are doing, the flow will be followed. Right, boss? So what is the general flow? Developer sandbox, developer pro, partial copy, full sandbox. Where is the training performed? Training is generally given on partial copy sandbox. Training will be generally given on what? Partial copy sandbox. Are you clear? Okay. Now, let me give you. In general, life cycle of any application, how the life cycle will be? Developer, then we go with the so then the employees who are working, right? So what is the format here? Then we go with the developer. Forget about the Salesforce. In general, developers. Then what was this? What will be this? Not testing. Integration. What will be the integration? Right? Yeah. Forget about Salesforce. In general life cycle. In general application life cycle, what we are going to have? Developers, then
Developer Pro Sandbox.
you are trained them. Now, you will be people who are working on the products. Once you develop, what is the next format? So you may go with integrating different business requirements, integrating business requirements. Okay. So I will say then next what we have? Here we are going to have UAT. Then we are going to have after UAT what we are going to have? Staging. Then we have production. Generally, this is the flow. Every application will go in the same format, right? So, individual developers indicate the functionality, UAT, staging, then go for production. The same flow, the same life cycle is followed by the Salesforce. The developer is replaced with a developer sandbox. In place of developer, we have developer sandbox. In place of business, okay. What we have, integration, what we have here? Developer. Then UAT is a partial. In place of staging, we have. In case of staging, we have. This is the flow. So developers, then indication of business requirements. Okay, then going for partial copy, then going for staging, then going for production. So developer sandbox to developer pro to partial copy to full sandbox to production. It is on paper, like your J2 exam. But when you get down to the practicality, we follow all the life cycle. Depends upon the requirement, depends upon the impact. Right. So what was this? Developer sandbox, developer pro, partial copy, full copy, production. If you are building a new big functionality, the flow will be followed. If I want to add a button, I will not do all these type of things. Right, boss? So this is the general flow of your sandbox implementation. So what is the purpose of these sandboxes? What is the purpose of sandboxes? Sandboxes are used for development, testing, and training. Who are going to work on these sandboxes? Developers, testers, and developers and testers are going to work. Where is the employees of ICICI Bank is working now? Working on production. Where is the administrator working? On the production. Right, boss? So we have two types of environment. Production, sandbox. On the production who will work? Employees. Like if I develop an application for ICICI Bank, the employees of ICICI Bank and administrator is going to work on the production. Now, ICICI Bank gave a contract to IBM to develop an application. Then what IBM people do? IBM people will log into the sandboxes, develop the application, then they deploy to the production. Right? I hope you are clear with this format. Now developers and testers are working on what? Sandboxes. And employees and administrators is working on what? Production. From where you create a sandbox? From production. From production, administrator will create a sandbox. From where you refresh the sandbox? From production, administrator will refresh the sandbox. Deployment will be done from what? Sandbox to production. Now, what is the meaning of deployment? What is the meaning of deployment? When I say deployment, developer 1, he has written a code, P4, P5, he wrote some logics. Now, is he deploying the data or the metadata? Now, as a developer, what I am changing? Am I changing the data or metadata? I am changing the metadata, irrespective of technology. Not only Salesforce, irrespective of the technology, being a developer, what you are modifying? Metadata. When I say deployment, whenever I say deployment, moving the metadata changes from one environment to another environment is called deployment. So what I am doing? Moving the metadata changes from one environment to another environment is called deployment. What is that? Moving the metadata changes from one environment to another environment is called deployment. What is the refresh? What is the refresh? Removing everything from your sandbox, taking a fresh copy of production is called refresh. Deployment. Who will do the deployment? Developers will develop the code and deploy to the production. Who will refresh the sandbox? Administrator is going to refresh the sandbox. Where are your developers working? On the sandbox. Where are your testers working? On your sandbox. If I want to perform a performance testing and load testing, which sandbox I am going to use? I am going to use full sandbox. Which sandbox is also called as staging environment? Full sandbox. Which is called as UAT environment? Partial. If you want to test the application along with some data. Which sandbox you prefer? Partial. Right? If I want to integrate it, if I want to develop some functionality, but the functionality is a big one, it may occupy more than 200 MB, then what sandbox I prefer? Developer. Otherwise, is there any difference between developer and developer pro? No. Only in terms of size, the major difference. Only in terms of size. Only if I require more space than 200 MB, I will go for developer. Are you clear about this? Are you clear about this? Right? So, sandboxes are course.com instance, and they are used for development, testing, and training without affecting the production. What is the production? It contains live data, metadata plus live data. Live data that is required for your business. How do you recognize that it's a sandbox? You find here sandbox. It's a sandbox. Now, from where do you create a sandboxes? Look at this. Developer sandbox is my live production. From live production, I'm showing developer sandbox, developer pro, partial copy, full sandbox. Are you clear about this? So, if I want, that administrator will create a new sandbox. New sandbox. I have so create. See, now someone has asked a question. Which sandbox is used for testing a functionality? Now, I told you, if you want a sample data to run your functionality, if you require a sample data to test your functionality, you will require first. Now see, now the testing is, if the developer can himself can test it, the developer sandbox is sufficient for. If you are not dealing with the bulk data, if it is not consuming more time, then if I need to check only whether connection is working or not, whether data is coming or not, then developer sandbox will do. Developer sandbox will do. Now, with the introduction of Selenium, most of the testing is done by the developer himself. Now, in the coming technology, in the automation, there will be no separate testers for this. The developer himself will write the testing code. In automation, the developer himself will write a testing code. Right? So, developer sandbox will do, provided I am not testing with the bulk data. If my functional is there, I have to deal with 1 lakh records. If I have to deal with 1 lakh records, then I will not do with the developer sandbox. Why I will not do with my developer sandbox? Because I will not have such sample data. If I want to test 1 lakh record, come I have to test on 10,000 records or 5,000 records. If I want to test a functionality which is working on 10 lakh records, come I have to test on 5,000 records or 10,000 records. Right? Then I will go with what? Partial. So deals depends upon the use case, what you are testing. So I have to use only this sandbox, no such type of function. Only for load testing and performance testing, full sandbox. Rest of the testing activities will depend upon what type of use case you are building. I hope I am clear. Any further queries from anyone else? Right, boss? So I hope you are clear with these sandboxes. So we have learned about